Israel has been fighting a war against the axis of resistance since October 7th. When I say the axis of resistance, I mean not just Hamas in Gaza, but Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, against the Houthi Ansarallah in Yemen, against the various militias in Syria and in Iraq, all overseen by Iran. Syria is a very important component of this. Syria is sort of the link that holds the chain of the Axis resistance together. Syria is also a transit point for the resupply for Hezbollah. Hezbollah has fought a war for a year, or more than a year, and they've expended a lot of resources. And they still have some resources, but one of the reasons why Hezbollah went along with this ceasefire is because, Hezbollah was exhausted. And so one of the things that was supposed to happen with this ceasefire is not only was the Israeli army getting the rest that it desperately needed. This ceasefire was driven by the Israelis, not by Hezbollah. The Israeli military was saying, we can't continue to do this fight. Our brigades are exhausted. We just sent the 7th Armored in, tried to take a village. It got hammered by Hezbollah. We brought the Golani in to support. These are our 2 elite units, and they're getting hammered. Our special forces were in the hill. Agos was in the hill doing their thing. They got hammered. We can't, and the reserves are looking the same. If the big boys are getting beat up, we don't want to have anything to do with this. Desertion rates were high. And the military turned to Netanyahu, who didn't want a ceasefire because he and his right-wing idiots were committed to the destruction, the strategic defeat of Hezbollah. He agreed to it. And at the time, I said, they haven't solved the Houthi problem. The Iranians are sitting there with 1,000 missiles ready to hit. They haven't solved that problem. This is just a temporary respite. Netanyahu's finished. Well, hell, everybody's been saying Netanyahu's finished for such a long time. He's done 3 or 4 elections where, he got beat, but then he comes back, forms a government, collapses, got beat. He has corruption charges. October 7th came in. He should have been removed, but he stayed on by saying, I am the security president. He has been dragging this war out, creating, the reason why Hezbollah accelerated is because he had to do something to explain the defeat of the Israeli army in Gaza. And yes, the Israeli army was defeated by Hamas because Hamas hasn't been defeated by Israel. When you say that your military objective is the physical destruction of Hamas, and a year and a half later, Hamas is still there, you haven't destroyed them, you've been defeated. You haven't physically destroyed Hamas. Hamas's job isn't to physically destroy Israel or occupy Israel, it's just to survive, and Hamas is surviving. Hezbollah's job was to lure Israeli military strength away from Gaza so that the Israelis couldn't come at it with everything they had. And the Iranians' job was to make this war expensive as hell. Come in and destroy the Iron Dome, make them burn up ammunitions, taking down a $30,000 drone with a $2 million missile. That's an exchange rate that isn't sustainable. And Ansarallah destroyed single-handedly the Israeli economy, shutting down the port of Eilat, through this economic blockade. And this is all Netanyahu's fault. He's losing. So when this ceasefire came in, I'm like, it's over for, I personally, and I think I actually said this on some podcasts. I said, my assessment is it's over for Netanyahu. He's reached the limit. There's nothing left. The Israeli society's turning on him. Seymour Hersh wrote this wonderful Substack piece about how Netanyahu is being investigated for misuse of classified information, lying to the Israeli people about the hostages, the whole hostage thing. People were rising up and saying, you've slaughtered our people, you've murdered them, you could have released them, but you didn't. And it's just all falling apart for Israel. And then this attack happens. And I think I rightfully called it when it happened, so did others. I said, this is an act of desperation by Israel. That this attack by HTS, these Turkish proxies, was supposed to take place in March, linked not to Israel, but to Russia and Ukraine. The Ukrainians were supposed to mobilize. This is why Blinken is sitting there, give me your 18-year-olds. We need to get 100,000 18-year-olds. We'll get equipment to them so that you can launch a counteroffensive in March to keep Trump's hands tied. And so they're trying to do that. And to support this, they were going to do this major offensive that would seek to put Russia in the horns of a dilemma, put Iran, because remember, Russian-Iranian strategic relationship in the horns of a dilemma. Do we continue to, these Ukrainians are coming after us. What an embarrassment would be for Russia to have been advancing, and suddenly get hit with a Ukrainian counterattack that recaptures some of the territory. That changes the dynamic at the negotiating table as well. And now Syria is saying, we need help, and the Russians don't have the forces to help, and the Iranians are otherwise tied down. That was the whole idea of this attack. They went forward prematurely. I mean, the Ukrainians were involved in this too. The expert use by HTS and the other forces, I can't call them rebel forces, we'll just call them the Turkish Islamist forces, expert use of FPV drones, first-person view drones. It has the Ukrainian touch. The Ukrainians were involved in facilitating this, and these drones have played a very effective role. The city of Aleppo fell almost immediately. I mean, it was just a rapid collapse of the Syrian army. And I said, okay, Aleppo fell, but I believe the Syrian army said, we're withdrawing from Aleppo to regroup. I said, sure, okay. I had no reason to believe that the Syrian army no longer knew how to fight or had the will to fight. I thought that they withdrew, they regrouped, the Russians are going to bomb, the Iranians are going to bring in the popular militia, Hezbollah would send a couple of troops in, and you'd solidify the line, and these HTS people would overextend themselves, get cut off, destroyed, and push back, and Idlib would be gone. That ain't what happened. The next thing you know, they took Hama. How did they do that? Because the Syrian army quit. Literally just quit. They brought in the 4th Tank Division. They brought in the 25th Division, the Hamza Division. They brought in the Tiger Force. These are the elite units of the Syrian military, and they're coming in and they're retreating. They gave up, not just the city, but every place. They pulled back. Homs is a strategic city. If you go right now, the Iranians who are supposed to be resupplying Hezbollah right now, who desperately needs resupply because they fought a 1.5-year war and they ate down their stocks, the Iranians tried to bring an airplane into Damascus airport, and the Israelis said, we'll shoot that plane down. So there's no more air bridge from Iran to Syria, join up a ground bridge to go into Lebanon. A ground bridge, by the way, goes through Homs. And now it's a land bridge that starts at the Iraq-Syria border, where Al-Qaim is on the Euphrates River, and the sister city to Al-Qaim is a town called Abu Kamal. It's been in the news over the course of years because the United States and Israel have repeatedly bombed warehouse facilities in the vicinity of Abu Kamal, which we say are affiliated with the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. And they are. This is where the trucks come in. They drop this stuff off in Abu Kamal, and then the trucks come in from Lebanon, pick it up, and they go along a highway that leads to Homs. And then from there they go into Lebanon, and they make it to they make it to Hezbollah. Homs is about to fall. HTS is advancing. The Syrian army is evaporating. I saw this, I haven't confirmed it, but the Russian government apparently put out a notice to Russian citizens in Syria, get out of the country. That's not too good. It's not stay away from Homs. It's get out of the country, as in this whole damn thing's about to fall. Russian defense forces, air defense forces and such, that have been deployed into the Homs area to provide, again, you want to get your defenses out to create a broader screen against potential attacks. They've been withdrawn now to get closer to the naval facility and the airfield because the Syrian army is losing Homs. If Homs falls, that's it. The landline is between Iran and Hezbollah is cut. It's over. But it's not just that. The Syrian defense forces, the Kurds, have launched an attack, and they've apparently captured Abu Kamal. So Abu Kamal's gone. You can't get in. Homs is cut. Even if you get in, you can't get to Lebanon. And suddenly we are looking at the strategic defeat of the axis of resistance. Erdogan came out, and guys, I'm just telling you, I got it so wrong, apparently. I mean, when I first did the initial take, I thought Erdogan was going to be the one with mud on his face. Erdogan's up there now in control. He's saying, yeah, we're going to Damascus. He's looking to take down the whole thing. The fall of Assad, the fall of Syria, the black flag over Damascus, everything Russia sought to prevent when they intervened in 2015 is about to happen. Assad, somebody said he'll be practicing, dentistry in Moscow. No, I think that, you'll see that there will be an Alawite rump state in Latakia region, and Assad will fall back there, and that's where the port is, and that's where the airfield is, and it'll become this sort of mini state. Ironically, it'll become the Alawite version of Idlib, meaning this tiny little rump state surrounded by a Syria that isn't what it was. We are looking, unless it gets reversed, and I keep reading things, things about battlefield. They're saying that there's some counterattacks taking place and that the Russian Air Force is coming in and driving back, and that...
For Israel, the situation is more nuanced. On the one hand, the removal of Assad eliminates a staunch ally of its enemies, particularly Hezbollah. The disruption of arms flows and the weakening of the axis of resistance represent a significant victory for Israeli security. On the other hand, the ensuing chaos in Syria could present new threats. Jihadist groups, long contained by Assad's regime, might resurface, posing unpredictable dangers along Israel's borders. Additionally, the absence of a central government in Damascus complicates any long-term resolution to the Golan Heights dispute, an issue Israel has used as a buffer but now faces in a state of ambiguity. Palestinians find themselves in an increasingly precarious position. Syria, under Assad, despite its internal strife, consistently opposed Israeli occupation and maintained a stance of solidarity with Palestinian resistance. The vacuum left by Assad's fall may isolate Palestinian factions further, diminishing their regional support and complicating their ability to resist Israeli expansionism effectively. Domestically, the collapse of Assad's government is likely to exacerbate Syria's humanitarian crisis. The country has already suffered immense destruction, with millions displaced and key infrastructure obliterated. Ritter's warning about the potential for a new crisis is prescient. Syria's fractured society and the myriad of competing factions create fertile ground for renewed conflict. Jihadist groups, previously suppressed, may exploit the vacuum to regain influence, leading to further bloodshed. Moreover, the involvement of external powers, each seeking to carve out their sphere of influence, could transform Syria into a battleground for proxy wars, echoing the chaos seen in post-Gaddafi Libya.
Retreat out of Aleppo, the rapid retreat out of Hama, and the rapid advance to Homs, I got to be careful reading some of this stuff, whether it's just propaganda. I saw the Syrian Minister of Defense come on their national TV and give a speech, and I'm just sitting there going, that dude's blowing smoke at people. I mean, this just the verbiage he's using, the language he's using isn't of a leader that is in charge. When your argument to the people are, don't believe the propaganda, only read what you read on official government channels, everything else can't be trusted, that means that you're in a lot of trouble, because the world has gone to hell. That's not the voice of a confident man. And so, this is a situation where Netanyahu may have won. I mean, this is the military victory that Netanyahu has been searching for from the very beginning of this crisis. He kept saying, you have to keep me in power because I'm the only one that can give you the defeat of Iran and the axis of resistance. And he failed. He failed in Gaza. He failed in southern Lebanon. They couldn't stop the Houthi. And Iran defeated the Iron Dome. And you're just sitting there going, okay, it's over. If he pulls this off, because Israel was very much involved in this, if he pulls this off, that's the starvation of Hezbollah that he's been trying to achieve. That makes Hezbollah not viable long-term as a resistance movement. They can't keep it up without Iranian weapons coming in. And the landline's about to be cut. Hezbollah drops off the picture, off the radar. They may stay as a political movement, but they're no longer going to be this giant loaded pistol in the head of Israel. Gone. Syria is gone. Syria that has been, the Golan Heights. The Golan Heights question is solved, ladies and gentlemen. If Bashar Assad falls, Golan Heights is forever Israel. It will never go back. because the new government's going to say, yeah, you got it, baby. It's all yours. It's going to be the black flag government. Heads are going to roll. They're going to literally, all the people that are running around saying, oh, thank God Assad's fallen. Yeah, just wait. Wait till your women are wearing black hijabs and burqas, and all your men are taken out in the street and shot and have their heads cut off, because that's what's going to happen. That is what's happening right now. Iran, where the hell is Iran? See, there's been some Iranian voices out there that have expressed extreme frustration at the new Iranian president, who has been putting the brakes on the IRGC's desire to be more aggressive vis-a-vis Israel. And now there seems to be this, Iran is trapped in this indecision. And it's the end of Hezbollah. And Turkey, I'm going to be eating a lot of crow, because Erdogan, who I was sitting there saying is a failed leader, he's lost face. No, he's coming out as, if Netanyahu has his big victory, the next big winner is Erdogan, who he's going to keep Aleppo. I just want people to understand what's about to happen here. Maps are going to be redrawn if this victory stands. Idlib and Aleppo will become part of Turkey, not part of Syria. And then they will dictate, the Kurds are going to get screwed again, and America's going to be, Trump's going to be, he can't be talking about sending forces into Bagram. He's going to be looking at a Bagram-style withdrawal of forces from Syria and Iraq. This is mind-boggling what's happened here. And here's my question. Where the hell was the Russian army in all of this? They had a lieutenant general on the ground. They have Russian advisors out there. Do you not have a finger on the pulse of the health of the Syrian army? Were you not aware that the Syrian army wasn't ready for this fight? There's talk right now that the Syrian Army Corps has been bought off. Well, here's my other puzzling thing. The Israelis apparently set off the pagers and communication devices in the Syrian army on the night of the attack. So the Syrians had the same crisis that Hezbollah had, where all of their middle management suddenly lost hands and got their hips blown off. Why do these pagers and communication devices, why are they in the inventory? Where's your counterintelligence people? Hezbollah stuff goes off. Why didn't somebody say collect all the pagers in the radios and blow them up and issue new ones? Why did you allow these systems to stay in play? What the hell is going on here? This is confusing in the extreme. And I'm just trying to get my head wrapped around it. I'm looking at, but the way things are going right now, and again, it's a very fluid situation. Instead of Netanyahu and Erdogan being the big losers, as I was putting money on this time last week, looks like they're the strategic winners. Looks like the axis of resistance has been dealt a near fatal blow. I mean, they're going to lose Hezbollah. They're going to lose Syria. That leaves Iran isolated. It changes the whole dynamic of Iraq. The only ones that'll still be dancing the street with their curved daggers will be the Houthi, because they just don't give a damn about anything. Nobody can beat them. But this is a big deal, guys. This is a really big deal. This is one of these. I love it when people, Scott, didn't you say something earlier this week? I just told you I said something earlier this week. And yes, the new events have changed it. This is what it's like to be, an intelligence analyst, people. Okay? Intelligence analysts don't have a crystal ball where they go, I see clearly. Intelligence analysts take, cups of tea, drink it, and then throw the tea leaves on the ground and they read it. You want to know what it's like to be an intelligence analyst? How many people have taken one of those 1,000-piece puzzles? You've seen them in Christmas time in the cold. You put it out on the table and you try to assemble it. And you're always sitting there near the end, where does this piece go? Where does this piece go? But as you get more pieces put together, the picture starts to look clearer and clearer and clearer. Well, that's nice. You know how you do intelligence analysis? You take a 1,000-piece puzzle and you take 950 of the pieces and you burn them. You got 50 pieces left and you have to put it out there and tell you what the picture is. Welcome to the world of intelligence analysis, guys. And if you get the right 50 pieces, the picture's clear. If you get the wrong 50 pieces, you're doing a lot of speculation. And then what happens is, as things occur, more pieces get thrown on the table, and you start putting them together. And you go, oh, damn! The thing I thought was a dog is a cat. So that changes this thing a little bit. Well, that's what happened. There was a lot of data last week coming in. A lot of assumptions were made based upon past performance. Nobody said the Syrian army was going to collapse. Nobody said the Syrian army was going to collapse. And yet it's collapsing. That changes the picture. Nobody said that the Iranians would be lulled into absolute indecision. True promise three. Iran's coming in with the rockets, baby. They're going to blow it off the map. Where is it? Not there. And the Russians, how did the Russians get it so wrong? Now it explains why Putin fired the one 3-star general, brought in another 3-star general, because that 3-star general that got fired, his job is to write reports that go to the Kremlin that say, this is the health, this is the prognosis, this is what's going on. And you just know that Putin's sitting there with his generals going, last month this guy said everything's hunky-dory, and now it's not. What the hell's going on? Fired, bring in a new guy, find out what the hell's going on, give me the ground truth. But this is a very, 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 very confusing situation still. And depending on what happens, I was supposed to write, I write for Energy Intelligence, and I'm committed to write so I'm saying this for the benefit of their editors, because they're probably going, Scott, we'd really like that piece. Hey, Roland, if I had submitted the piece last week, you couldn't publish it.
The global implications are equally dire. The fall of Assad sends a message to authoritarian regimes aligned against Western interests. Survival is not guaranteed, even with robust alliances. This development could prompt recalibrations among nations like Iran, Russia, and China as they assess their vulnerabilities. Additionally, the precedent of using prolonged proxy conflicts to achieve regime change could embolden similar strategies elsewhere, fueling instability in other contested regions. Scott Ritter's analysis highlights a sobering truth. The ousting of Assad may achieve immediate strategic goals for Israel and its allies, but it opens the door to a new chapter of uncertainty and conflict. The weakening of the axis of resistance may realign regional power dynamics, but it also dismantles a critical counterbalance, potentially leaving the Middle East more volatile than ever. In the end, the fall of Assad could prove to be a Pyrrhic victory, one that ushers in an era of ungovernable chaos rather than lasting stability.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am back with another brand new video. In this video, the Scott Ritter has discussed ongoing war. He discussed how crisis influence on the Middle East. He also mentioned how the huge threat in Syria, huge threat in Syria. He also discussed about it. So if you like this video and afterwards, then you can subscribe my channel, because in future I will upload this type of video. So please keep subscribing and turn on the notification for more videos which you will be notification of my own videos. guys, keep watch my channel. I'll be back with another video next time. That's why I am asking to subscribe. You'll be lucky if you subscribe my channel because I upload knowledgeable content in my channel. You can check out my channel because I have already uploaded 2 minutes videos like this which are described by Scott Ritter, Douglas McGregor and other special or ex-army officer. So please subscribe my channel for more videos. Thank you guys who are still watching my channel. If you like my videos, then you can subscribe my channel. Finishing this much. Thank you guys who are still watching. Now I am going to end this video from here. I'll be back with another video next time. Bye for now.